And welcome back, everybody, to Fawn's commentary of Resident Evil Deadly Silence, Classic Jill. And I know it's been quite a while since I've released any new episodes of this series. I've been really meaning to get back to the series for a while now, especially since I recently finished my System Shock 2 series. So yeah, where we last left off, we just entered the guardhouse and had a talk with Barry. And supposedly he suggested he's gonna go get himself eaten by zombies. Yeah, totally not a reason to worry about him, but whatever. Now then, this part of the game with the pushing boxes, I think this is like the only part of the game where I usually can't really tolerate it, or usually it just seems tedious to me. I mean, it's like second nature whenever I come to this part. I know exactly how far I need to push them and whatnot in order to solve the puzzle. Even then, it still just seems very tedious to me. Oh well. Now, for anyone who's played the game before, you already know what's coming up. Especially, all the water should be a big hint. But for those who haven't played the game before, well, you're about to get a small surprise. A big tank in the middle of the room. How very conspicuous. Was that shark waiting behind the same doors I just went through earlier? Oh my god, it's a giant shark! Now, you see, if I hadn't gone back for that key, I would have been stuck in a very unfortunate situation in which the shark would have eaten me whole. Though I guess it would have been funny as hell if that had happened. But fortunately, since I had the control room key, we come in here and we are able to drain the water. And press this little button here for a key item. There's quite a bit of ammo in this room, but yeah, all that really is important to me is the shotgun ammo. Even then, this is still probably too much ammo. And yes, dormitory key to room 003. If you hear that flopping, dear Neptune and her two baby sharks are now vulnerable. One knife strike should do the trick. Whatcha? Whatcha? Bitch, die! Yeah, they're not quite as deadly in this game as they are in the remake. In the remake, yeah, they're so much more deadly, it's not even funny. You will actually feel the adrenaline rushing inside your body when you fight them in the remake. But in this one, if you played the game before, you should have a fairly good idea of what to do. So yeah. And now that we have the key for this room, we can move on. The keys you now discard, of course. Although it always came to me as a question, how do they know when to get rid of the keys? I mean, that always struck me as odd. Although, then again, the keys for, like, the dormitory rooms, that makes sense, because those keys are only made for, like, one room at a time. I think I go back to drop something off. It's been a while, so wait, never mind. Plant 42 report. 4 days have passed since the accident, and the plant at Point 42 is growing amazingly fast. It has been affected by the T-virus differently than other plants have been, and shows unique shape in addition to its size. Looking at the way it behaves, it is now difficult to determine what kind of plant it was originally. There are two ways in which Plant 42 gathers nutrition. The first one is through its roots that reach into the basement. Immediately after the accident, a scientist went mad and broke the water tank in the basement. Now the basement is filled with water. Until we did something, of course. It is easily imaginable that some chemical elements were blended into the water, which presumably promoted the incredibly fast growth of Plant 42. Another part of Plant 42 has grown through the air ducts and is now hanging from the ceiling of the first floor. This part of Plant 42 contains various vines and bulb-like structures, which it uses for its second method of gathering nutrition. Upon sensing movement, Plant 42 shoots its vines around the prey and restrains it. It then begins leeching the victim's blood by using the suckers located on the back of its vines. It also appears to have some intelligence. It has been witnessed using the vines to block doorways when it is either captured prey or is in a state of rest. Several staff members have already fallen victim to this. May 21st, 1998, Henry Starkin. Alright, now that we have a little bit of information of what's to come, let's go face this giant plant. I've never really heard of a phobia about man-eating plants, or giant plants for that matter. Though I guess there is such a thing like that. Oh look, a row of red books. There's one white book. Will you take it? V-Jolt Report. As I stated in the last report, there are some common features found in the cells of the plant infected by the tyrant virus. We have also found another interesting fact through some experiments. We found an element that destroys these plant cells rapidly in UMB number 16, one of the series for the UMB chemicals that we use for that experiment. We named this UMB number 16 V-Jolt. According to our calculations, it will take less than 5 seconds to destroy Plant 42 if we put the V-Jolt directly on its root. You need to mix some of the UMB series chemicals in a specific order to create V-Jolt, but the UMB series chemicals may generate a poisonous gas which is harmful to the human body. Extreme caution should be taken when handling these chemicals. Following are the types of UMB series chemicals and their brief characteristics. And yeah. V-Jolt report has been filed. Now a book is missing. We just happen to possess a red book. And now... Plant 42! That's a big plant. You know, for some reason it seems... Oh. That was a bitch slap. Alright, anyway, for some reason Plant 42 looks bigger in this game than it does in the remake. Although arguably it's harder in the remake than it is in this game. In this one, if you have the right ammo, it should be pretty easy to take it out. Ironically though, the Magnum is like the least effective weapon to use against it. Like, it takes way too much ammo to take it out with a Magnum. But with flame rounds, it's like child's play. And we have the last mansion key. I guess our business here is done. Let's head back to the mansion. What the? Who the hell?
Wesker.
Oh.
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say. Where on earth have you been? You disappeared from the hall all of a sudden.
Is that supposed to be some
sorry,
sort of pun?
But I have my reasons.
He was shooting
Perhaps
bees
you
and...
guys have met them?
Yeah.
It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
Is that right? Anyway,
He must have
it's good
opened
to
the
see
front
you
door.
safe.
I met Barry too a while ago. I think there's something wrong with him.
Yes,
Oh my
I agree with
god.
you.
Well, then
Sure
again,
was
he's right.
strange, wasn't he? He looks so tired.
Well, maybe
Really?
it's quite natural under these
He looks
circumstances.
tired.
Jill,
Well, it is
our first
night
priority is to
when
get
people go to
out of
sleep,
here.
so it's...
Yes, you're right.
Of course I'm right. I'll get back in the kitchen.
Now, there are a lot of rooms in that mansion that we can't get into because they're locked up. I have been looking around for clues.
What's that? Blues
Okay.
Clues!
I'll go to the other house and see if I can find
That's a
any
terrible
clues.
joke.
Will you do that? I'm counting on you.
You're right. Well, guys, this has been your commentator, Faron, and this is the end of episode 5 of Resident Evil Deadly Silence Classic Jill. See you next episode.